One.
Hi, everybody. So I'm so excited. Today I have my first ever guest. Rhian is here with me today, and she is a fantastic coach. We're going to be discussing the massive impact of having an abundant self love and healthy relationships. And this is one of my most favorite topics ever. So I am so excited to have somebody like you, Rhian, on with me to discuss this. So we could probably spend hours on here, but I'm going to try and keep it at like half hour or so. And so I'm just going to kind of let you introduce yourself a little bit and give us a little bit of your background, if that's okay.
Okay, cool. So my name is Rhian Kivits, and I'm actually from Cornwall by the sea in the United Kingdom. I am a sex and relationship expert. I'm fully qualified as a therapist, but I also work in the holistic healing arena. So my work is really a blend of psychotherapeutic stuff along with the mind, body, soul paradigm. So it's really fun because what I do with my clients is we get to the root of, the grounded root of the issues, but then I have this lovely fun toolkit that I dip into. And I believe that everything should really come from the heart and that we should be very natural about our approach to healing. So
Well,
that's
I
me.
think we
That's
can
what I do.
maybe we can all agree with you on that one. Okay, so I kind of want to this is such a big topic. And so when I was preparing this, I was thinking about because it really does affect every area of our life, self-love and relationships. And this is the number one thing that I end in life coaching, that I end up working with all of my clients on, because no matter how much love you think you have for yourself, there's always work to be done there. And I'm wondering with you, is that did you come into this, the self-love, because I know you're having a program coming up, right, based around this as well, and it's really something you're passionate around, which we'll get into the details on later. But are you? So I'm wondering how you have found that. That is. Do you feel sort of that all women need this on some level?
Oh, yeah, of course. All women absolutely need this, Jeray. I mean, the thing is, we women tend to be givers, that there's so many women who are in this coaching space as well, who are here to serve and here to give. And I'm not going to overgeneralize, but women are nurturers, women are givers. And usually we develop this kind of, this sense of needing to contribute, needing to create. It's innate within us as women with a feminine energy that, we are the creative force. And so from that place, we are those natural givers in the world. Whether it's the fact that we are giving of our energy, we are giving of our love, we are giving of our care for others, we are birthing ideas to inspire, so we are natural givers. And from that space, we can so easily overgive in all kinds of areas of our life. So we women really need to learn how to give back to ourselves, to
Yes.
refill the cup. And I'm not talking here about just very simple self care. I'm talking about going into this very deep heart space kind of a place where we ask ourselves what we truly need and what we really desire for ourselves. And we come at it from that space of worthiness, and we actually live our lives from a space of self-love. And that is different to having bubble baths and buying chocolate and, having treats. It's really much more profound. And
Oh,
that's what I think we need.
yes. So it's um more of a getting in touch with yourself as
Mm,
well as caring for yourself. It's really, aligning yourself with your higher being and figuring out like really what that means for you
yeah.
as well. And I love that. That's so beautiful. Um, and then so with we kind of touched on this a little bit, how it's cyclical, the receiving and the giving. When it's harmonious, there should be sort of a give and a take in the love process. And I found in some of my coaching that women, oftentimes the receiving is the hard part. We get really good at giving and giving of ourselves, and it kind of throws us out of this like balance that we need to have. And so sometimes I've noticed that with my clients, when they start doing some of the internal focus, they start, noticing all of the love that is actually coming their way that they hadn't quite seen before. So could you touch on the receiving a little bit of love, as well as, just that whole cyclical process maybe, and see how that, let me know kind of how that plays into what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the thing is, I work with a lot of couples actually, and we always talk about this balance of giving and receiving that needs to take place. But we need to really find that balance of giving and receiving within ourselves first, so that we can then take that out there into our relationships. And the giving is, as I say, something that comes very, very naturally to us women usually. But the receiving is really about allowing it to flow back. We have to learn not to grasp at what we are receiving because we're afraid of losing it, or because we are wanting to hold on to it too tight. And we have to learn not to push whatever it is that's coming towards us away, perhaps because we fear what that might mean. We fear the change that it might create within us. We fear the intimacy that we may need to go into in order to experience it. Right. And so we have to find that balance with receiving so that we can allow it to happen.
But you're so right. It does start with us. It really does start with us. And until we start that internal work, on finding all the things we're talking about, finding ourselves and finding our higher self, and what who we are, at the heart of it, until we get there, it's really hard to feel the love and even admire ourselves for the love that we're showing, because a lot of times we're giving so much love, but we're not internalizing that as how amazing that really is. And that, that's where the self-love really starts, is like an admiration for ourselves, for, for who we are and what we're doing. So how do you feel that self-love correlates into our life? So how does that impact a woman's life?
Oh, it's massive when you start to live from a true place of self-love. Think about your business and your work, for example. When you live from a place of self-love, it's so much easier to show up for yourself, for your business. It's so much easier to show up for your clients, because what you're doing is you are in tune with this kind of true, authentic expression of who you are, and you are really allowing yourself to show up in all your magnificence. Now, when that happens, you can only succeed. You can only expand and get bigger. You can only, get the positive feedback from the world around you, and from your client base and your co-workers, for example, because you are showing up as a true and honest and very, very beautiful expression of who you are. You don't have to wear the mask. You don't have to be in the space of worrying all the time about being judged, because you are just allowing yourself to be. And that is very different from saying, I don't care. And when people say, I don't care what people think of me, I always challenge them, because from a place of self-love, you do care very, very deeply about being you, and that's all that matters. So a little change of language around there, I think, would serve people really well.
That's awesome.
But so work, career, that kind of area, it correlates. Relationships, how many women have I met? I've lost count of how many women I've met in the clinic, in the psychotherapy clinic, who are not enjoying their relationships, and they're certainly not engaging in their physical relationships because they don't have enough self-love to really be able to bring themselves to that relationship as an equal partner and to be in a place of balance with the other half of that union, with the man or the woman that they're in relationship with, you know.
Oh, for
So
sure.
in relationships, self-love is key. And of course, think about things like body image, for example. It's not about always looking like a Vogue model, you know. It is about being able to look at yourself and see the beauty because you are a divine expression of who you are. And so, you know, that there is something about loving the skin that you're in, but there is also something about being able to really look into your own eyes and see the spark and see that that is where the beauty is, you know. So it's deep, it's profound. It's also something that is very beautiful because you find your voice through
Yeah.
self-love as well. You
Well, and
become
I found this in my own relationship in the
mm,
past. My husband and I have been together for 20 years next
mm,
week. And I found this in my own relationship that until I started to fall in love with myself, I
mm,
never really fully felt loved. And I never really,
mm,
there was always something needed filled. I was always needing filled up by somebody else. And
mm,
it's, now looking back, I think how unfair that is, how unfair it is to
mm,
require the people in your life to
mhm.
fill you up, because that's ultimately my job. But I don't know that's, I found this in my coaching over and over and over again with women, that it is usually not the spouse, the the issue that they come to you with is always about the spouse or whatever, about they're doing this or they're doing that. And the more they fill themselves up, the less those things are really an issue anymore. So, have you found that in your relationship coaching as well?
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, you know, it's about looking for validation, isn't it? You know, where we're looking for so much validation from our partners that I've met women, and I'm just thinking of somebody that I worked with recently actually, and she said to me, I don't even know what I like. You know, she said, I was furnishing my house and I needed to choose some curtains for the bedroom. And I realized that I was so busy looking for validation from other people throughout my life that if someone else had said, oh, you know, go for those red ones or go for those blue ones, I would have just gone for it because I don't know how to go within and choose something for myself. And that's extreme, right? That you don't
Well,
know.
I guess, but I don't know how extreme really it is because it is so common. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been there. I was there. I mean, I
yeah,
remember being there where I would second guess every decision that I made and ask everybody around me, if they thought that was the right thing for me to do. And
mm,
you saying that really filled me full of so much love, just you saying that, because
mm,
I realize what a beautiful feeling it is when you no longer look externally,
yeah,
when
yeah,
you just trust yourself and
yeah,
you just are, I love that.
yeah.
Super powerful.
When you don't need that validation, you also are not going to be projecting your crap into the relationship. You know, you're not going to be projecting your feelings of
And
love.
also, you don't leave as much open for other people to
Yeah.
interject their opinions and things. And so a lot of the times I find that when people are unhappy in their relationships, it's because they feel people are judging them or people are telling them how they should live their life.
Mm,
And I don't have that any longer. And I
no.
think that that's why. I think that it's because I no longer look to them. I don't ask for
Mm,
validation and things, and so it changes the whole dynamic.
yeah.
And in your past, you've been doing this for a long time, and so I'm curious, where did you come from all of this, or were you born enlightened?
So it will be no surprise to you that I am probably one of the world's biggest empaths. I'm a sponge for emotion, and I didn't know how to work with that. I didn't know how to go through and conduct my own life from a place of empathy where I was completely open to other people's energy. So I've always been a very, very sensitive person. And empaths are often drawn to the opposite end of the spectrum, the narcissists. So I
Right?
had family experiences of being brought up by people with very little self love and very little self awareness,
I
and
did
was
too.
very much on the receiving end of that. And then I went into relationships from a place of, being completely unhealed and unaware. And it took having to go through many painful experiences and, many traumas, I guess, many dramas and traumas in sex relationships and family situations for me to wake up to myself and seek healing. So I sought spiritual healing to start with. And that enabled me to get on top of my empathy and to understand how I could actually use my empathy as a power, as a superpower and a gift, and not see it
I
as a
love that.
curse. Yeah, that was
So
the
let's get a little bit into spirituality because I think that
mm,
that is so important on my path as well. I feel that that was just the, without it, I don't even know. Like, I just can't imagine
yeah.
what that would be like. So, how do you feel that that plays into self love?
Oh, well, for me, it's huge because the starting place for me is to understand that I am a divine expression, that I'm more than just my body, I'm more than just my mind. There is something else. There is an essence within me that I guess we could call spirit. And I believe that that part of me is the part of me that is still connected with some kind of divine source, higher power, something very beautiful and essential that runs through this reality like a kind of golden thread that ties us all together. And I see the key quality of that energy as being love, being pure love,
Absolutely.
pure connection. So that's the starting point for me when it comes to spirituality. And I guess my journey has very much mirrored that because I started with the spirituality. And then as I became more spiritually healed, I was able to really look at the dense side of things, as in the 3D world. So I was able to train as a therapist and start working with the mind. And then I decided that I was going to go into embodied therapy, and so became interested in psychosexual healing and approaches like Tantra and Taoism, which of course are very much embodied healing processes for individuals, for women, and for couples. And so that was where I found my integration of mind, body, and spirit.
That's so awesome. I
Thank
just
you.
spirituality has
Yeah,
completely changed my life
yeah.
in every way. Yesterday, was doing some studying on I am, and on the connection to source and
Mm,
what what I am is and what that means and all of that. And
mm.
with actually with Marianne Williamson, I was watching a show with her and reading some of
Oh,
my Course in Miracles.
yeah,
Um, and it it kind of brought it into perspective for me in a lot of ways because it really makes you see where how connected we all are,
mm,
and that this isn't if we are as connected universally as we
mm,
are, then it does put some responsibility on us to take care of ourselves first,
yeah,
because we have these relationships no matter what. We're going to have relationships with people, and we're putting off energy, and we're in the same energy fields as other people are. And for me, it really makes me want to be the light, makes me want to be the person that um, is spreading positivity and is not the one who's bringing people's vibes down and
Mm.
whatever, if I can at all avoid that. So do you feel, I mean, I'm sure you do because you're a light worker, just as I am, and that responsibility.
Mm. I do feel that responsibility to look after myself, because if I don't look after myself, then I can't bring myself to, to you, to my clients, to my friendships, to my network. I can't bring myself anywhere if I haven't looked after myself. And so looking after myself is really a pillar of my service work.
For sure.
And if I don't do it, then I can't show up as powerfully as those people who need me, need me to be.
That's
Um,
exactly true. We probably wouldn't show up,
yeah,
it
we
just,
wouldn't. No, because we'd be too busy letting the world drain the heck out of us,
yeah,
feeling sorry for ourselves, right?
yes, yes, exactly. And we wouldn't understand our purpose. We wouldn't
Yeah.
understand that we're giving a message that needs to
Mm.
be received every day, and all of that. So, and you're doing phenomenal. I'm watching you. I'm watching you, and I just see everything you have going on. And I shout out to your magazine. It turned out beautiful. Your first
Thank you.
yeah, it's amazing. So I'm super excited about the next one as well.
Oh,
So that magazine, I should say, is called the, oh my gosh, I just lost it. The name of your magazine.
she rocks. She
She
rocks.
rocks. Of course, she rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a free publication. If anyone is interested, I will leave a link down below so that everybody can get signed up for that as well. I was a contributor in the first episode, or what do you call those?
So the first issue was
Issue.
out on the summer solstice, yeah,
Summer
27.
solstice issue. Yes. Okay, so anything else about relationships?
Oh, anything else about relationships? My goodness. So,
I
you
know.
know,
Where do we start?
where do we start? So, one thing that I would want to say, a little nugget that I want to share, is that when it comes to self-love, when two people are in relationship and they each hold self-love as being, really important to them as a shared value, there can be so much joy brought back into that relationship. It's like the Venn diagram. I always use this analogy. So, like in mathematics at school, they would have taught you about the Venn diagram, two circles that come together, and then there's this bit in the middle. The bit in the middle is bigger than the sum of its parts. So if you can love yourself so deeply and so profoundly, and you are lucky enough to be able to attract for yourself a conscious relationship where the other person understands that and is doing that for themselves too, imagine what an amazing space you can create in the middle of your Venn diagram. Imagine what the potential is for you as a couple. Imagine what the potential is then for your family, if you have them, for your kids or for your friendships, because the two of you will be absolutely radiating magnetically.
Oh,
And
sure.
it's honestly, it is a magical space to be in. So yeah, I'm talking to women, I guess, at the moment, and it's mainly women that I work with online. But having said that, women can support their partners to really foster this for themselves too, because we need to meet each other in relationship. It isn't all down to us to do the inner work, us women. It's not down
How
to us.
would you suggest, if we had a woman watching right now and she was feeling that she was doing the inner work, but that her spouse maybe isn't? And how would you suggest that she nurture that?
God, that's an interesting question. I think that communication in a relationship is key. And there has to be a willingness from the other half of the relationship to start to explore their awareness and their awareness of the relationship. And so all you can really do is plant those seeds and keep inviting your partner powerfully into a space to share with you. So when your partner sees how amazing it is that you are going into the inner work and transforming and changing. And when your partner feels the benefit of that, because it will radiate into the relationship, right? It is important to really keep those lines of communication open and actually be brave enough, and you will if you love yourself, be brave enough to say to your partner, I am learning so much about myself and how I relate. And I have realized that, you know, I do this, I do that. These are my patterns. These have been my behaviors, and this is what I'm changing. What do you think? What do you think about this? So keep opening up the communication, keep inviting your partner in. All you can do is invite them in, and then make it really safe for them to walk in the door and to join you in that exploration.
So I have my own, take on this as well. But how would you suggest a safe? What would be a way to make them feel safe enough to maybe dive into this a little bit?
How can you make your partner
Yeah,
feel safe?
right. And
Yeah.
I've been through this, and so I sort of have my own experience with this. But I want to hear from you. Like, how do you feel that a woman can make her spouse feel safe enough to own the things that they do, and open up this new world of possibilities and expansion?
I think there are practical things that you can do to make it safe, because, you know, self-disclosure and intimacy, when it starts there, can definitely help your partner feel safe, because they see and they appreciate what it is that you are sharing. I
Like
think,
vulnerability.
yeah, vulnerability. I think practical things, like one of the things I always tell my couples about is having this couples meeting, which is a lovely thing to do once a week or once a fortnight, where you actually set time aside to have a kind of one-to-one meeting, and you agree some really lovely boundaries and ground rules around that time, such as, you know, it will be an hour or it will be 45 minutes, and we will use respectful communication, and we will share in that time, and we will talk about how we have been experiencing each other for the last week or so, what we feel we're learning, what is coming up for us in the forthcoming week or so, and what challenges that might bring. And having just a little practical thing like that, a weekly couple meeting, it can really provide a safe space, you
I
know.
agree.
Mm.
And also something that I coach on that might be important to mention
Mm.
is the way that you verbalize things with your spouse is also very important,
Oh.
because sometimes somebody's not going to feel really safe coming or going through this if you are labeling them as whatever it is, damaged, or
Mm.
not whatever negative things we can generalize people in.
Mm.
I think we kind of need to break those away a little bit and give them the room, hold space for them, and give them the room to just grow without
Mm.
having preconceived generalizations, I think, hanging over their head
Yeah,
as well.
no, I think you're right. I think it's always good to talk about me. You know, this is how I've experienced it, and
Exactly.
this is how I feel, and then to invite your partner by asking, so, you know, how is it for you? How do you experience that?
Right.
Because when you get into this place of projection, then it's not helpful. Your partner will shut
Right.
down. They will
Blame
feel like you're.
blame and projection and stuff like that isn't going to be super useful.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
all right. So tell us about any programs that you have coming up.
Yeah. So I have my 5-day abundant self-love uprising coming up, and this is a free event. I have called it abundant self-love because I truly believe there is an abundant supply of self-love within. We can tap into that, and we can really allow that to flow. So this is unlimited self-love. It's going to be a 5-day event, and you need to sign up for that. So I can let you have the link after the live. I can put it in the comments. It's going to be absolutely free. The information for each day will come out by email, and then there will be live feeds and there will be healing processes. And on day 5, there is going to be a session that everybody can attend if they sign up, of Kundalini Reiki and breath work. There is going to be inner healing processes. It's really going to be a lovely, fun event that I want women to jump in on, get involved in, and enjoy, experience what it's like to give yourself love just for 5 days, and see what impact that has on your relationship, on your friendships, and of course on your business. Because if you are, like us, an online businesswoman, you are out there looking for clients and you are trying to manifest, your wealth and your dream lifestyle, and that is done from a place of self-love. So that's what I'm up to, and it starts on July the 10th next week.
Ooh, soon. Okay, everybody. Okay, so everybody needs to follow Rhian. She is phenomenal, and she's always giving away tons of free, amazing content. And this group is, like she said, absolutely free. So 5 days, you can kind of get your feet wet with this and see how it really does massively impact every area of your life and your relationships. So, I'm so glad that you were here today with me, Rhian. We should do this again. We will do this again for sure. I appreciate you so much and everything that you're doing and the love that you're sharing. I mean, it's so, it's not just beautiful. It doesn't even, I don't even know if there's words for seeing the exponential, I don't know, the things that we do, like as coaches, we coach other people who then become these brilliant, amazing women who give their light to everyone else, and it just ripples. And so to see what you're doing, it's a movement. It's a real movement. It's not just, we don't just coach one person. It's funny, when we're coaching that one person, we're actually sharing those lessons with so many other people, because they do share them in their life with everyone around them. And I have clients, and I know that you have clients, that after we work with them for a while, it becomes where, people start coming to them because they are the safe place. And so within a few months of working with a client, I'm sure you can relate, where they're like, I can't believe it. I can't believe that people are telling me all of their secrets now, and they're, all of this stuff. And it really, to me, that's what this is all about. It's not just you. It's not just your self-love. It's that when you do that, it ripples exponentially.
I feel that so deeply. And as a coach, it's about being alongside the people who are supporting, so that they can be alongside the people in their lives and the people that they are either working with or caring for or bringing up, or married or in relationship with. So I kind of see it that we're really learning to, all of us, be alongside each other. And that
we all grow together. And then, and it's like our arms, we just keep putting our arms out around more people, and it's just amazing. So, so you're doing wonderful at that. And I just wanted to say that I'm just so super, super grateful for you. So.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeray. I have absolutely loved it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we will talk soon, love.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.